the day I boiled water to make fufu, but ended up boiling my chains instead, was the day they realized Amaka had finally snapped. They say a woman must endure for her home. They say marriage is not sweet every day. But what they never say loud enough is this: suffering is not love. My name is Amaka. I grew up in a warm house where love didn't shout. It whispered gently. My dad never raised a finger at my mom. He loved her like breath, quiet but essential. So when I met Kenneth, calm, successful, well-spoken Kenneth, I thought I had found my forever. But forever showed its teeth on our honeymoon. We were in the hotel room watching comedy. I laughed loud, carefree, the way I always did. Suddenly, slap. The sting blurred my eyes. You think this is your papa's house? He growled. You will learn submission, Amaka. My mother was beaten into womanhood. You'll adjust. I sat there, my cheek burning. And still, I apologized. I didn't know I was marrying a stranger. A generational curse in designer shoes. The abuse crept in like a silent snake, striking over nonsense. Toothpaste cap left open. Greeting his cousin with hi instead of good afternoon. Refusing to cook yam porridge at midnight. One day I wore a headband. He ripped it off my head like I had cursed his ancestors. Are you a Jezebel now? This is why decent men lose control. I stayed silent. I wore makeup to cover wounds. I made up lies to protect him. Because every time he cried and begged, I told myself, maybe next time will be better. Then came the day I told his mother everything. And her reaction? She held my wrist and whispered, I'm sorry, my daughter. Then she began to cry. I tried to run too, she said. But my own mother told me to endure. I have lived with demons so long I forgot I had a voice. I begged God to break the chain, but now he's passed it on to my son. That day something inside me cracked. But what finally broke me wasn't a punch. It was betrayal. I had just returned from the store. 10 minutes max. I met my sons, age 5 and 8, standing barefoot outside the gate. Why are you here? I asked. Their faces were pale. Daddy locked us outside. The younger one whimpered. He's inside with one auntie. I knocked. No answer. I banged. Loud enough for the heavens. Finally, Kenneth opened the door, wearing nothing but pride and boxers. Behind him, a woman sat on our couch, in my wrapper, eating fried fish. What's all this noise for? He asked, like I was disturbing his peace. I stared, speechless. Go and cook fufu, he barked. What kind of wife just returns empty-handed and starts shouting? I walked inside like a ghost, fed my children, bathed them, tucked them in. Then I stepped into the kitchen. I boiled a full pot of water. Fufu time, the strange woman called, laughing. Yes, I replied calmly. Plenty water. But it wasn't for fufu. The water boiled, whistling like rage. I lifted the pot and walked to the room. Kenneth, I called. Dinner is served. They laughed, both of them, until the first drop hit. SSSHHHHHHHHH. The screams could wake ancestors. The dance of pain they danced, I'll never forget it. I dropped the pot, carried my kids, and waited for the police. They came. I didn't run. I didn't beg. The woman's family came shouting. Her mother wailed. Her father called me a witch. But in court, when the judge heard the story, even the walls wept. Kenneth's mother stood up and said, Your Honor, I failed my son. But don't let this woman pay for the sins I should have buried. I begged her to leave. I begged. This was not an attack. This was survival. I was acquitted. They tried to sue me, they lost. Kenneth? He walks with a cane now. Says he's a changed man. He came to my gate last month kneeling. Bandaged arms. Roses in one hand. And in the other? A Bible. Said God has touched him. But I looked at him with the same silence I once used to hide my bruises, and said, I'm not the Amaka you used to know. I boiled water that day, not just to scald skin. I boiled away the lies, the fear, the chains. I boiled my freedom into existence. But wait, do you know what was inside the Bible he brought? What I found between the pages? Let me tell you what shocked all of us.